Hey guys, welcome to the channel or welcome back to the channel. I'm Zoe Wafelbakker and this is Living in Austin. Today I am in the office and reason for that is we are going to cover South Austin. So I wanted to share my map with you and also some photos of the types of houses that are available for the average price point so that you can get a good idea of what South Austin is all about. So let's get to it. Hey guys, welcome to the channel. I'm Zoe Wafelbakker and this is Living in Austin. If you're new to the channel, please make sure that you hit that subscribe button below and that notification bell, and you'll get notified every time that we upload a video. And we're doing that every week, and we're covering things like what it's like to live, work, play. I'm looking at my map here and the areas to live, all the things about living in Austin, because if you're here, then you might be curious about all of that stuff. So now, as much as we love doing these videos, we are licensed realtors here in Austin, and we love helping people even more relocate. We're doing this every day. We're helping loads of people relocate here to Austin, and we'd love to help you find the perfect home for you and the perfect community, because it's not always just about that house, it's also about, the neighborhood that you live in as well. So that's super important to us. So make sure that you give us a call, drop us an email, drop us a text. We're the ones that pick up the phone and we would love to hear from you. So enough about that. Let's crack on to South Austin. Okay, I'm going to be honest. We live in South Austin, and we've lived in South Austin the whole time that we've lived in Austin. And so we, our heart is here. So this is going to be quite generalized right now because, you don't really want to be sitting here for 3 hours to talk about every neighborhood. So we're going to concentrate on the zip codes in South Austin and give you a little bit of detail about that. And like I said before, what we'll also do is bring up how many listings there are at the moment for that particular zip code and give you the average listing price. And then we've got, I've got an example of a house for that price on the MLS. So hopefully that's useful to you. As always, if you want us to deep dive into a certain neighborhood, or a certain zip code, just reach out to us and we can do that, and we can drive around and take video footage for you. Always a good time doing that. So let's crack on to neighborhood number 1. I'm going to share my screen here, and not neighborhood, zip code number 1, and we've got 78778. Hang on, there we go, sharing my screen. Is that working? Please share. There we go. Okay, so we're in 78704. Okay, so just to zoom out a little bit here, this is where we're at. Let me get a good view here. Here's Ladybird Lake, and 78704 sit in between Mopac, right here, it's the number 1, and I-35. Okay, and I've said it before in other videos, they're like the veins that run through Austin. Okay, so 78704, fantastic neighborhood. I keep saying neighborhood. Fantastic zip code. A couple of neighborhoods that to note. We've got west of 343, which is actually called South Lamar. You'll notice that with Austin, they've got many different names for the roads. Anyway, 343 here. I'm pointing to it and you can't see that. 343 is called South Lamar. So let's touch on west of South Lamar, and you've got the Zilker neighborhood and Barton Hills. Zilker neighborhood, we're going to have some footage coming up for you in a minute of us doing a drive around there. It's awesome. Awesome neighborhood. You've got some beautiful little old cottages, and then right next door you might have a new construction, modern, contemporary, 2,500 square foot, if not bigger, construction. So it's really sweet. In this area, actually, they have a lot of bike lanes, and that's awesome, because if you do live in this area, you are so close to Barton Springs and Zilker Park, and it is, you're so close that you could easily jump on your bike and go down to Zilker Park and Barton Springs here. Actually, when we were videoing this footage, there were actually bikes out front of the elementary school, and both Mark and I was like, oh my God, we could never see that. People actually bike to school. So it's really lovely. And Barton Hills is a little bit more, you've got, there's still a lot of new construction there as well. Barton Hills is lovely if you're a runner, a good spot to do some hill reps, because, Austin's not actually flat. And you do have the older style homes there that are on slightly bigger lots than what you get in that Zilker neighborhood here. And beautiful established neighborhood, great, beautiful trees, and that footage will be, be showing at the moment. So then on the east side of South Lamar here, you've got Bolden Creek, Travis Heights, South Lamar, Galindo. Bolden Creek, Travis Heights are really, really beautiful. You don't quite have as much space as what you do with the whole Barton Hills area. Great location, you're close to downtown again, and again you've got those classic old beautiful character homes. You do get a lot of homes that are next door that have just been new construction, and in particular in this Travis Heights area as well, you get a lot of the back, front and back units, the ADUs. So where you have the 1,700 square foot house in the front, and then there's a 1,000 square foot unit in the back, and then that's set up as a condo. So you do get a lot of that has been done in and around this area. So cutting to the average price point. The average price point for 78704, based on the current listings, there were 65 when I ran this, and I ran this in just literally in the last couple of days, and that the average list price for them was 1.184 million. And I want to give you an example of a property at that price point. And here we've got on Clawson, this one here. Oh, actually expired literally in the last 2 days. Well, this was live. This was live and was listed at 1.179. 1.179. And exactly what I've been saying. It's one of those new constructions. This particular one was a 4-bedroom, a 3-bedroom, and 4-bathroom. So that just gives you a bit of an idea that it's in a condo regime as well. It's attached condo. So that's 78704. Some of the things, other than also being ridiculously close here to the Greenbelt, is awesome. And just being so close to downtown, and you might want to consider that, if you're working for downtown, if you're working for Facebook or Google or any of the companies that are downtown, you're in such close proximity, and it is actually doable to cycle to work if that was your thing, because it becomes a little bit more difficult when you go further out. So Going further out, then we're going to hit into, we're just going to go slightly east into 78741, which is this area here, just east of I-35. Thing to note here, I would say this is still a bit of an area yet to be, I don't know, yet to be capitalized on. Seems a little bit wrong to say, but that's a wrong thing to say. But it's an area that hasn't developed as quickly as some of the other areas. To note, what a lot of people do when they do move here, there's quite a few apartments down by Lakeshore Boulevard here. And that could be a bonus, especially if you work for Oracle, and Oracle is just located in here. Also, there is access to the lake right here, and there's a beautiful path on the Butler Trail that goes from here, and you get some fantastic views of the city as you're walking over that. It's really, really lovely. Upside here, you are getting closer to the airport, which is just located here. So there are some pockets, but like I say, I'm not going to go into super detail for each one. Now this here, 78741, there were 28 listings when I ran this, and the average list price was $551,000. And we've got an example here, the 6100 Pongo. Let me go back one. And this one here, it's actually just gone under contract. And it is a single family residence. And this one is listed for $549. So it gives you an idea. Another new construction, very new construction. And there's only 3 photos. So that's all you get to see about that one. To give you an idea of size of that, that is 1,000 square feet. Okay, and there's 4 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. It's a lot of bedrooms for 1,000 square feet. So that's an example. Now, cracking on to 78744. We're going just south of Fort 1, and we are in this 78, where we are east of I-35. Now, some of the couple of points about here. Franklin Park, we've seen a lot of investors go into Franklin Park area. There have been a lot of renovations for the properties there. I've seen that literally happen over the last few years. I had a client that was looking about 4 years ago in Franklin Park, and I remember driving around and all the big, garbage bins out the front, where people were like, renovating and getting rid of everything at the front. And so you're seeing a lot of that in those areas. Big upside, you've got McKinney State Park right here, which is awesome. And also in this zip code here, you have Eastern Park. Eastern Park's a super cool community, and they are still selling homes there. A lot of them have, it's already been built out, but it's a pretty awesome community. And a client just buy there back in, I think she bought in April actually, March, April, and I went to visit her just last week, and she's absolutely loving living in Eastern Park, and that was a resale property. So the other neighborhood where I've helped a lot of clients in, again, this zip code is Addison South. It's just down the road, Brookfield Residential. Oh, sorry, that's at Eastern Park as well, but there's Brookfield Residential, literally 1.5 miles down the road from Eastern Park. And that is, it's a little bit more affordable than what you're going to get at Eastern Park. And it is one of the examples that comes up here. The accessibility, why I think it's so, attractive to a lot of people is, you're jumping on William Cannon and then you bang on to I-35. So it's pretty accessible. And I mean, goodness, you've got McKinney State Falls right there, which is really, really beautiful. It's a state park. That's really pretty. And there's a golf course in here as well. Look at that. So 78744. At the time, there we had 70 listings, and the average price point was $523,000. And the one I'm pulling up for you is actually in Addison South, and it's in another where is it? McCamey. I've actually had 2 people buy on McCamey. So this one here is a new construction, 2,100 square feet, 4 bedrooms and 4 bathrooms. And this just gives you an idea. That's the amenity center there. And that's all you're probably going to get. Their floor plan, if you like. But again, I've had 3 clients buy in Addison South in total, and they've really enjoyed the community there as well. And it certainly was at a price point, much more digestible price point a year ago. And with the price of building costs going up so much, that really has gone up. And you know, we never used to see anything in Addison South around the 5s previously. So it was typically, you know, a lot of property in the 300s, and then under push you'd be in the 4s, you know, for their kind of the top of the line stuff. So things have, you know, they've gone up everywhere, and that in this area also. So I'm getting on here, back to my map. We're going to hit 78745. We used to live in 78745. It holds a little piece of my heart. I love 78745. I really do, and there's a couple of reasons why I love it. You're not quite paying the same prices as what you pay in 78704, but you're so close. And so literally this here is Ben White, or 71, or 281. This big road here is Ben White. We call it Ben White, or 71, and or 290, not 291, or 290. And there's a couple. I mean, I love a lot of the neighborhoods in 78745. You still get the character that you get in 78704. Now, it's quite interesting because this here is Manchac. Now, what's actually pronounced Menchaca now. It was always called Manchaca. Apparently that was wrong, and so they changed it to Menchaca, which was correct because it is actually named after someone. But everyone's so used to calling it Manchac. So if you hear the word Manchac, it actually means the road Menchaca. And this road runs all the way through to South Lamar, or 343. And what's interesting, so this is one of my a favorite neighborhood of mine, just because, again, it's got that whole 78704 thing where you've got the cute character building, character homes, and then you do have a lot of construction next door as well. You may have a lot of construction next door as well. So with the ADUs, and the ADUs are quite popular in this this neighborhood. It's actually called South Manchac neighborhood here. Now, interestingly, if you just go on the west side of Manchac, you don't really see it in this Westgate neighborhood. And we've taken some footage, and that will be coming up shortly. And you'll see the difference that there's literally just around here coming down to Garrison. There's slightly more land. It feels like, I don't have the stats on that, but there's the lots are a bit bigger, and you see more of people actually renovating their houses as opposed to knocking them down and building a front back. So there is a difference there. These neighborhoods are great, because of location. And tree lined. You're not going to find many footpaths, pavements in these areas. So it's you'll be driving along and seeing people walk their dogs, on the road. And then coming down to further south. Now, the point I want to make about this is William Cannon here. William Cannon, remember, it runs up like to Eastern Park. what you find just going south of William Cannon is where the developers back in like 2004 started building out, doing the subdivisions, you know, so that therefore means your HOAs. A lot of these neighborhoods in here are not in HOAs. And that's back to the 78704 as well, not many HOAs at all. But if you coming south of William Cannon, you do get more HOAs, and that's, you know, starting from in here at Grand Oaks, there's quite a few like condo regime developments just east of Manchac, and here Waterloo is another one. And then you just coming further down, except for now we're going outside of 78745. So you do, it's where kind of the subdivision started by the builders like D.R. Horton and so. So that's the thing to note there. What are some of my favorite things at 78745? In total, again, for me, it's location, but not quite the same price as what you're paying in 78704. So with that, when I ran this, we had 66 listings, and the average price point was a 606,000, and that's in comparison to 78704 that had that 1.1 million average price point. So now, in saying that, you know, I've got a listing going live in 78745 in this area on Friday, and that's in like, you know, in the $500,000 range. So 600 is an average, but you can find something in around here for, you know, between realistically 450 and 500, and you can obviously find things that are a lot more as well. But typically and interestingly, you know, for example, like Shiloh, this area here, it's not in an HOA. This Grand Oaks is in an HOA, and you'll be paying the same, you know, you'll get half the size of a house, but you'll be paying, you know, the same price, if not more, for it, because it's not in that HOA. And these HOAs don't cost much at all. They're like $40 a month. So it depends what you want, if you want to be in an HOA or you don't. If you want a bigger place or you want a smaller place with, you know, maybe a bigger lot. All things to consider. And showing the house. We are Woodhue. Let's get on to Woodhue. This one here is an example. This is one that's been renovated, very typical of 78745, and nicely done. Quite like that actually. You get a lot of homes in 78745 like this, and they're cute, like what I was saying before. And this is 1,600 square feet. It's a 4-bedroom and 2-bathroom. And it's in Cooper Oaks. So a single family home as well. Now we're going to crack on now my map, 78735. Now we're going a bit west, and I was hesitant on putting this area in because, I mean, it is south. Obviously, it's south of the lake, but it is also very much west as well. So it's kind of, this area is somewhat split because this area here, like Oak Hill, is very South Austin, and this area up here, Barton Creek, you're at a totally different price point. And Travis Country in here, you are at a much higher price point. So great location. You've got a lot of companies that are on Southwest Parkway, and you know, you're practically on Barton Creek Greenbelt as well. So this area here is called the Y, and because of literally the road, not because of the YMCA, although there is a YMCA there as well. It can be a bit of a pain for traffic. It congests quite a lot along here. So that's something to be aware of. 290 out here. Actually, I lied to you. It's actually the Y is just there. Sorry, with Scenic Brook. So to give you an idea of price point in this area, we are looking at 13 listings, and the average price point was 2.9 million. And this is going into Lost Creek, which is an absolutely stunning area. Let's look at it up and here. Lost Creek. Now this home actually, this is listed for 2.85 million, and it needs updating, but it's in Lost Creek. And I want to get to some of the views because the views are spectacular. And I'm trying to get to the views. There's some love that is required for this property. But you're in a phenomenal, huge lot, and just beautiful views there as well. And that is 5,000 square feet, big old place with 7 bedrooms and 6 bathrooms. So, and you're in, you've zoned to some pretty good schools as well. So that's that area, 78735. I'm going to crack on with 78749 now, going south. So make this a little bit clearer for you. Okay. This area here, you've got big plus of this area, Whole Foods, Costco. I had a client once that he had to be within like a couple of miles of Costco. He loved it so much. I've had clients that want to be in a couple of mile radius of Whole Foods as well. So that's why I bring that up. This area here is nicely sandwiched between 290 here and Mopac. So accessibility is awesome if you are coming, if you're working downtown, or if even you're working up north because you're jumping on Mopac and heading north. Like I said before, this part here is called the Y, and that does congest. So that's just a bit of a pain that you have to deal with if you live around that area there. And you've got neighborhoods in this area like Legend Oaks, Western Oaks, and you've also got Circle C North in here as well, Village of Western Oaks. The biggest points, these houses were built back in the late 90s. So they are typically quite, decent size homes. They don't have like the same kind of, 1,200 square foot character that you might get in 78704 or 78745. But, you're right next, you've got Dick Nichols Park there, which is awesome. And it's a pretty awesome location for accessibility. So I'm not going to go into that too much more. So for this, we are looking at 43 listings. When I did this, average price point of $621. And I'm going to show you one on Beckett that was listed for $625. So let's get an example of that on Beckett. I'm being blind. There it is. Beckett. And this was a pretty good example one as well. So need some updating. As a reminder, it was listed for $625. And this one here was built in, this is actually a 1978, 1,600 square feet, 4 bed, 2 bathroom. So that just gives you a wee example there. Okay, so getting on down to 78739. Radio. So this area here, scroll out a bit, covers Circle C. Circle C and Meridian, and what, again, awesome location because you can jump on Mopac and head straight north, and you're into downtown. It's going to take you about 25 minutes to do that, depending on traffic, depending on what time of day. I'm going to do a different video on Circle C because it's a big area, it's a popular area, and and I'll do a video tour for you there, because Circle C is split into really two areas. Well, there's several areas, but you've got the kind of the original part, and then you've got the new construction of the last few years. So Ivania, that's the new part, which is down here. And then you've got the kind of original part, which is up around here. Circle C has got like 4 swimming pools. One's like an Olympic size when they put the lanes in the right direction. There's a golf course there, and it's a really nice neighborhood with old established trees. The houses are big. But you know, they're big kind of brick homes. And there should be some footage coming up in a second where you can see that. We have a bit of a drive around there. And then this area down here is Ivania, and then you've got Meridian. Good school district. You're still in Austin, ISD. But the schools are very good, and kind of Circle C proper, you've got Zone Kaika as an elementary school, and then you've got other good schools as well. And this new area here, we've got a new school for Ivania. And a lot of people that live in Ivania really like it, because kids can, you know, bike to school if they so desire. The roads are pretty quiet around there, and it's like in the neighborhood, the school in the neighborhood. What you have on your doorstep, if you live in Circle C, is the Lady Bird Johnson Wildflower Centre. Love that place, and I was just talking to a client before, and she said that she'd gone to the Wildflower Centre over Thanksgiving, and to the Fortlandia. And we've mentioned Fortlandia before, but it's this design installation and all these like forts and designs, and it's just so cool, so pretty, and just so fun if you have small humans to do. And if you do live in South Austin, I would say, you know, get and if you're interested in that kind of thing, get a membership to Lady Bird Johnson Wildflower Centre. They just have some really lovely things on. And now we're heading into kind of Christmas time. They have these great light installations on in the evening as well, which reminds me, I better book that. The other thing that we have here is the Veloway. I love the Veloway. I used to cycle a lot. Now, I don't do it. I just don't cycle as much as what I used to. And one of the things I really love about the Veloway is it's you're not allowed to walk on it. There's no pedestrians on it. You're only allowed wheels. And so you'll see, like, I'm pretty sure you'll see skateboarders on there, rollerbladers, and cyclists. And it's a 3-mile loop, and it's got, you know, some cool little technical twists and turns, which is fun. But it's not ridiculously hard. Our 5-year-old does it with my son, and it's a challenge for him to do some of those hills, but you know, he can do it. I think he's only fallen off a couple of times, but it's awesome because there are no pedestrians on it, no cars on it, and what I really love it is, like, it's such a good spot for anyone that is building their confidence in cycling, because if you are a cyclist, cycling out here can be a bit scary. And years ago, when Lance Armstrong was, you know, at the height of the tour and what have you, and Austin was really well known for cycling, it's somewhat waned from that. And being on the roads as a cyclist here, and I have, you know, is a bit scary, because there's not although the road's very big, you know, often when you're going out, if you're doing a decent cycle, they become a lot more narrow, and the big old trucks don't want to give you too much space. So I think the Veloway is just a massive, massive blessing, especially for those that may have had an accident and building their confidence again. It's really special. I didn't realize I loved the Veloway that much. Righty-o, so 78739, are you guys still with me? We've got 16 listings for this area, with the average sales price of $900,000. And the one I'm going to show you is listed for $869. Let's pull her up. I think the house is a her. And there she is. This is a 3-bedroom. This is in the Circle C area. And I just had a price reduction, guys. That's what I mean by the brick. This is very typical of the Circle C area, brick. Now, let me just tell you, this house was built, this is a 3,400 square foot home, listed for $839, and it was built in 2003. So, let's bring up those prices again. Not prices, the pictures. Big old windows, kind of quite formal. I'm not saying all the houses are here, but this just gives you an idea. This is this layout. Been to a lot of floor plans like this in that Circle C area. Kind of typical. And yeah, so that gives you an idea. Again, 3,400 square feet. It's only 3 bedrooms, which is interesting. I'm going to jump on there just to get the lot size, give an idea. I need to know their lawns. Okay, there's not much to write home about the lot size on that one. But typically, you know, this kind of area, you're going to get a decent sized lot. And you know, what is nice about the Circle C area is, like, of course, you're going to back onto other houses, but there's a lot of green space there. And that is, you know, Circle C Ranch, or, you know, this whole area here, it's Metropolitan Park, is amazing. But I'm going to cover that on a separate video when we do a video tour of Circle C. So where we go now, we're going to 78748. Right, moving over here. 78748. Actually, I'm going to rewind a little bit because this is something I didn't really cover on the last one, and I really do want to cover it. So this area here, this area here, 78739. Now, if you want to be close to downtown, you don't want to be way out in the country, you don't want to be way out in Dripping Springs, and you want some land. This area here, so we're just west of Brody, so just east of Mopac, and then west here, Shady Hollow. I really like Shady Hollow, especially this west side of it, because like that's, if you want to buy a place that might have an acre, this is where you need to go, and still only be, you know, maybe 25-30 minutes to downtown. The thing about Shady Hollow, I would say though, is this Brody, where Brody and Slaughter are here, it does bottleneck a little bit. So traffic wise, now that so many people work from home, it's probably not as relevant, but it still happens at bottlenecks. Zoned to some good schools here as well, Baranoff, Bailey, and Bowie, all the B's. So yeah, Shady Hollow is a great neighborhood, and it's got the space. There's, you know, a really good community feel there as well. We have friends that live there, and we've helped people buy there as well, and it's a nice spot, and it could be an opportunity if you were wanting to you know, have a place with a bit of land, but you might have to do some renovations, you know, because a lot of them are the older homes where people have been in them for the last, you know, 25-30 years. So there could be an opportunity there. You will pay a premium for a house that has been renovated, of course. So now getting back over to 48. We've got a whole mix here. Neighborhoods to note in Borelli. It took me the longest time to be able to say that neighborhood. This is just so cool. There's that little pocket of a neighborhood in here. It's Borelli. It's great. And you've got this Borelli Ranch Park all around you. So that's so nice, going out walking your dog. There's a mix of neighborhoods all around here. and they really do have different price points. You've got the other side of it, Shady Hollow, here as well, and there's some really cool street names in this area here. I had a client, what did they buy on? They're all about like guns. Here we go. They're like 6-gun trail and shotgun, and yeah, it's all Fort Worth Trail. It's not really, but there's a lot of gunfight. That's where my clients were. Gunfight Lane, all these over on this side, which is still Shady Hollow, so it has those amenities as well. Then you've got a bunch. This is another DR Horton community, Olympic Heights, built a lot more close to each other there. And it does come at a much better price point for people than say Borelli Ranch or Shady Hollow. So that's 78745. Then coming over, that's 78748 to another little favorite neighborhood over here, next to, this is Texas Oaks area. It's still part of 78748. Great. This is not an HOA area, and I think this is a little jewel, and because you're so close to Merrimore Seawright. Merrimore Seawright Metropolitan Park is over 300 acres of Metropolitan Park. I mean, you can be walking in there and people be riding horses. It's awesome. And they have an off-leash park, which we take Coco to all the time, and not park, off-leash trails, and it's just, it's so big, and there's a gorgeous creek in there. And Texas Oaks, I just had a listing, just went under contract yesterday for Texas Oaks, a cute little 1,256 square foot house. And I should actually bring that up tonight. And it was, it's under contract now, but it was listed for 425. So I'm going to show you what you can get for 78748. 65 listings when I did this, average price point 530. Okay, bear in mind that's different for the different neighborhoods. But let's pull up what we did. That a house that was 579, and this is on Sleepy Hollow. Here she is. That's gone under contract as well already. San Leona, 2,400 square foot house at built in 2003, 4-bed and 2 bathrooms, 22 bathrooms. So needs some updating, and so 529, 579. Sorry, can't read. I think you guys got the idea there. Rightio, moving on to. We're almost there. I promise you, we're almost there, guys. We are going to 78652. Here we go. And 78652. All right, this area here is kind of like far south, deep south, far south. And we're going into Manchac here. So the things to note about Manchac. You're still in Travis County. You're just on the border of Hayes County here. Manchac's great. You've got some really old neighborhoods like Arroyo Doble here, and like Onion Creek neighborhood as well. I do that because this is the area that we live in, and husband's outside and I'm still talking. So there are some new neighborhoods in here as well. So you've got the old classic ones. And again, if you want some land, there's neighborhoods, there's houses on lots here that are like over half an acre, well over half an acre. So in these older parts. And, it depends on traffic, but you'll be like, 30 minutes to downtown, and that's on average. So then you've got some newer neighborhoods as well, and that's an opportunity. So MI Homes and other builders like Lennar and the like, so Onion Creek Meadows is great for some of those big lots. So along here you've got like Hills of Estancia, where the new construction. So there's an opportunity to buy there as well, and that's really awesome. You know, you are kind of close to I-35, but that's good for accessibility. Something that we absolutely love in this area is Texas Keeper Cider. Classic place. It's a cidery, and they have music in the weekends, and it's just a really chill place to hang out. Parts of this area, you have got, you know, you can see there's quite a bit of water, so you have to check and make sure that you're not in a flood zone, of course. Obviously where they're building, they're not. So 78652, when we did this, 6 listings, average price point 561,000, and I actually was wrong on that one, guys. Sorry, I showed you Sleepy Hollow for that, and that was 57. That's the Sleepy Hollow was the one for this area. Writing is small. So to show you the one for 78748, going backwards a little bit, is Madero, and that there was a 529. There we go. That's what you get, 529 and 78748. And that's although it looks like a single family home, it's in that estancia community, an enclave estancia, and that's actually a condominium one, a condo regime. So great for accessibility, these areas. We're almost there. We're on the last one. We're going to hit 78747. Okay. 78747, and we are over on the east side of 35. Main thing to note, I would say, in this area, there's a lot of kind of new construction in this area, but the big community I would note is Onion Creek. Onion Creek is awesome. I think there's about 1,000 homes in total in Onion Creek. And there's some real character in it, and they've been undervalued for quite a long time. They had a bit of a stigma because it had flooding. It had severe flooding, and it built in a flood zone, and so a lot of the city of Austin has had to buy out homes that were flooded, and so it has that stigma, but it's a beautiful community. It's got a golf course that you just get access to. The HOA is hardly anything. Still AISD schools aren't rated that highly. I always let people just do their own investigations on that. But you do have surrounding it, New Bradshaw Crossing, and other areas, new communities that have been building up as well. So Onion Creek is a lovely neighborhood, and something I would remind you guys on, anything kind of on the east side of I-35, keep an eye out on your foundation. The soil on the east side of I-35 is expansive, and so you could potentially you're more likely to have foundation issues. So that's something to keep an eye out, especially if you're searching homes in that area. And we've got another video for it to, things to keep in mind when buying homes here. So, but so 78747. Let me give you one last property. Are you still with me? Did you make it this far? There were 45 listings, and this one here is on Devon. It's a new construction, and it's a new construction. The example here, this one was listed for 561, and the average price is 562. Now the average price is a bit skewed, as 43 of these are under 900,000, and there are 2 listed at 1.3 and 1.9 million. So the average price point is somewhat skewed for that area there, but This here is a 2,200 square foot home, listed for 561. It's a 4-bedroom and 3-bathroom. So that's it. This has been probably one of the longest videos that I've done, and but hopefully that gives you an idea of the areas in South Austin. South Austin has a really, really cool vibe. Some of the things we personally love about it is the vibe. Actually, it's just got quite a chill vibe. A lot of Austin does. We love all the green space around us. We love Merrimore Seawright Park. We love Barton Creek further north. I personally, we live in Manchaca now. I love being really close to Buda. I'll do a different video on Buda one time. And the accessibility is great as well. I-35 is often back to back, but it's still accessible, especially if you want to get down to South San Antonio or San Marcos or anything. So it's a cool place, and there's a lot of what I feel for South Austin is that it's kind of classically Austin. So you've got a lot of restaurants and bars and stuff they're not big brands. They are independently owned, and so that's what I talk about with the vibe around here. So yeah, that's it. If, like always, if you have any questions, if you have any specific questions, or you want us to get the old GoPro out and video a certain area for you, let us know, and we'll be happy to do that. And reach out. The phone number is below. Email, give us a call. Like I say, Mark and I are the ones that answer the phones. We'd love to hear from you and hear what your plans are and see how we can help with your relocation. So until next time, guys, take care, and we'll see you soon.